guys, it's Salima at Salima Goddess Tarot. Wanted to just stop by with another tarot reading for you guys. I have 3 piles here. The title of this is going to be all about situationships. So I was talking to some of my friends and realized that during COVID, there was a lot of situationships that just popped up everywhere because people were on lockdown and, contacting old friends, old loves from Instagram and Facebook. And even I fell into that, I think. But I thought it would be a good idea to do a reading on the situationship and what situationship you're in. Whatever comes out, kind of get a vibe on, is it a real connection? Is it something born of just feeling lonely? Is it someone not being honest or wearing masks? All those things that you wonder. So I have 3 piles here. So I have pile 1. This is the Luminous Tarot. I have pile 2, which is the Grateful Dead Tarot. And pile 3 is the Modern Love Tarot, which I'm glad, I'm happy that I'm able to share. I have tons of tarot decks, and so I haven't been able to share enough of them on my channel. I should do like a tarot deck, like a video just on tarot decks is what I should probably do. But anyway, so the way this works, if this is your first time here, first of all, welcome. I want to thank people that already follow and, please like, subscribe. If you're new, and those of you that are here, thank you for my little tribe that I get like a regular few people that always watch the videos, which I appreciate because, well, it just helps the channel grow. And my whole vibe here is this: I just want to get love out there, get, insight out there to the collective and share the gifts that I have. That's pretty much the vibe that I'm sending. So I'm going to put the description or the timestamps for these piles in the description box. I highly encourage you to use those because that way you don't have to hear me shuffling in between and moving decks and stuff in between the piles. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and give it a start. So like I said, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and I'll see you at your reading. All right, pile 1, how are you? You have chosen the Luminous Tarot, and this is a deck that I have not used a lot because this deck is a unique deck in that it was inducted into the MIT, I don't know what you call it, a showcase or display of tarot. And so that's why I got it, because I thought it was a rare find. But it is beautiful, and there are not very many tarot decks that look like this. It's like a matte gold finish here. It's pretty cool. But it's all made of original art, that it's watercolor art. So let's go ahead and see how this goes here. What is going on with pile 1's situationship? Pile 1's situationship, please, Spirit. Pile 1's situationship. What is the truth about pile 1's situationship? Whoa. All right. 1 second. Okay, so we got 4 cards to start. And I'll try to put it up to the camera so you can see them well. Okay. All right, let me see here. So right off the bat, I can tell that either you, pile 1, are very, very excited about this connection. There's a lot of feeling going on in this connection and a lot of anxiety going on in this connection. So you have the 10 of Cups here. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of light. There you go. 10 of Cups. So it's kind of like these little triangle little dishes of cups there to start off with. And then you have the Magician, which is a funny little dude. There you go. You can see it there. It's a funny little dude there, but he's trying to hold his swords, and he's got his cup and pentacle and his wand. And then you have the Two of Discs. She looks like a little elf, I think. Two of Discs. And then you have the Ten of Swords. And that's where I'm saying, like, there might be some anxiety happening here in this connection. So I'm not sure if you guys work together or not. You guys might be in a situation where creativity is something that is a part of the connection. I think that it feels to me already that it's a kind of we have a runner and a chaser situation where we have somebody who is chasing. That might be you, Pile 1, especially if you kind of like tapped into this reading. And a runner, somebody who's very stressed out with the Ten of Swords. That is super common, I think, in a lot of connections when it comes to, and I think with situationships, what makes them so unique and not like any other real connection is that a lot of the time, communication is lacking. You have communication coming from one side and no communication, or if any, from the other side. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there isn't a physical connection yet. So a lot of times, us as humans, I mean, we base a lot of our presumptions about people on first impressions and what it feels like when you're in their energy, or what they do when you guys go out for coffee, or what conversations you've had that are, very interactive and when you're in front of the person. And I think when you're not in front of the person and you're only using communication, that it can be triggering, especially if there's strong feelings there that are happening that were not expected. Because, like for you, Pile 1, you might feel very confident that this is a connection that is supposed to happen, right? Like we were meant to reconnect, like if it was from a long time ago, or we were so close before when we went to school together. And, for sure, I mean, there shouldn't be a problem, and then now you're running into this person maybe pulling away, maybe breadcrumbing you, maybe giving you sometimes they're giving you attention and sometimes they're not giving you attention. Sometimes and if there is communication, because, really swords are very much about the intellect. So it has to do with like overthinking, anxiety, stressing out, feeling like you might not be making the right decision. And I feel like that's this energy right here. Like your person is stressing out. And it could be because a lot of people have wounds, with love. Man, love is a complicated thing. And sometimes it can be platonic, and sometimes it can be romantic. Sometimes it can be only physical, when it comes to that exchange. And I think that when we have negative experiences in our lives, it's hard to pick apart what the fuck is happening here. Like if someone's the runner and they have someone coming at them with all this emotion and confidence about this connection or this love, they're going to be really like standoffish. They're going to be like, wait a minute. That's never happened to me before. No one's ever talked that sweet to me before. No one's ever said that I can trust them right from the jump, and so that can kind of create this energy of like someone running and someone chasing. So, and I don't think that chasing's so bad. I think it depends on the reasons why you're chasing. Like if it's an anxious attachment and you're chasing because you're feeling like you don't want to, this person's going to abandon you, and you're afraid that this is the only communication that you can get, then you need to probably pull back a little bit and ask yourself some more deeper questions about why are you attracted to someone that is being kind of avoidant of you. But for the sake of the reading, let's just not, I'm not going to harp on you because the chaser is not, or the runner is not doing a great job either. So it's not anyone's one fault. Okay. Because I think in life, there's always a reason for connections, and sometimes they're for lessons, sometimes they're for blessings. So we'll just keep on going from there. So let's clarify the Ten of Cups some more. Ooh, look at that. Oh my God. You got the Four of Wands. So you're clearly in love. I mean, if we're going to cut this down the middle and you're Pile 1, you're definitely in love. You see this person as a stable connection, somebody that could really bring a lot to your life, and you feel like you can bring a lot to their life. And and you want an equal exchange. You feel like you can manifest this, or you are manifesting this. And if it's switched around, and let's say you're the person of pile one, where pile one is the one that's running away from you, you're definitely all about pile one for sure. Wow. Okay, and I'll show you the card. It's a cute card. It's just a little house with the little wands coming out of this side. Okay, let's clarify the Magician, please. The Fool. Oh, Jesus. I mean, like, what more do you... I see that little person's just like gleefully running away, running with their little pack, their little wand with the little, what is that, a satchel of stuff? I don't know. Whoever said, I don't even know if you say that word anymore. But anyway, the Fool is all about taking risks. So matching the Magician here. I'm going to put this here so you can like kind of see it a little bit better. Matching the Magician's energy here of just not just taking, gleefully taking this jump off the cliff of just saying, I am all the way in. Like, I am invested. I am so invested in this. I believe in this connection. I feel like we can do things together. Like, there's a purpose to this connection. These are like the best cards to have that represent that. These are the cards that say you're confident and you're really wanting this connection to work out, and you're doing everything that you can to have this work out. So let's see, since it's kind of in my mind divided here, let's see what the other, the person is feeling here. The runner. Okay, we'll just name the runner. Okay, this one. 5 of Swords. Okay. And clarify the 10 of Swords for the runner. Ace of Wands. Okay. All right. Okay. So your person is feeling, again, with 5 of Swords is a card about like just a little bit of chaos, a little bit of just like, usually it's depicted by somebody in a field and there's been a battle, and they're picking up the swords like they're cleaning up after the battle, like as if they won. And, it's really kind of like the whole idea of winning the battle. I'm sorry, winning the fight, not the battle, not the war. So feeling a little taken aback. I think that your person going, kind of matching the two of Pentacles, seeking balance in this, I think your person was taken by surprise. So I feel like this is a new connection. Your person was definitely taken by surprise with this. This is intense energy of love, of positive energy, of let me take care of you. Let's have some stability in this connection, and if this is a situationship that is born of work, it could be where they want to create something with you. Like maybe the runner here doesn't need to be this afraid. Maybe they've been hurt they've been done wrong somehow here. Because, I mean, even if you look at the way, usually the Pentacles are usually opposite, like someone's having one in one hand and one in the other, and they're separated. And this person's putting them both in front, kind of like, get away a little bit. Like, wait, what's happening? This is too much, But to clarify at the 10 of Swords, what is freaking this runner out is that they do hold some passion for you. So this could be, I even think, like, this person secretly had a crush on you and did not ever expect you to come forward and have a crush on them, is what this feels like. Wands represent passion, represent like, I kind of feel like it's a mixture between the cups and emotion and the intellect, where like your passion drives you. You feel like you've already made a decision that this is what you want, and then you're just completely compelled forward by the feeling that you have. And the Ace of Wands is a passionate card. So let's get more about the runner. Tell me more about why is this person running? These cards are popping today. Okay, so 4 of Swords. All right, 4 of Swords. I'll tell you more. Hold on. Tell me more about the runner. Oh, okay. Oh. Clarify the... Your person. Pile 1, your person. Okay, give me one more for the sun, please. One more, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. So, I think that your person has been hurt in the past. So sometimes when you have someone that has had a lot of pain and hurt in love connections, they have the avoidant attachment, right? Where it's not that they don't want this, because we got the 7 of discs, okay, which it represents work. I mean, like I said, this could be a work situation. We got the 4 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords is about taking a sabbatical, like going within yourself, by yourself, being kind of reclusive about your energy and digging deep to see what's going on in there, or praying or trying to figure out a solution to an issue or something that's causing anxiety. Okay, so this right here tells me that this definitely could be a work situation, where that's causing, like, almost like if this was a different time in a different place, they would not be a runner. But because of their experiences, and maybe because this is in a workplace, there's apprehension there. But to clarify the Ace of Wands, you got the Sun. And the Sun is pretty much the best card in tarot. It is a major arcana card. And major arcana cards, they speak to having more movement in a situation. They're not like the suit cards, like the Wands or the Cups. They put an overall theme on a situation. So I think in the bottom line, this person does see you as the Sun, as their wish fulfillment, as somebody that they really do want in their life. But there is a lot of caca over here. There's a lot of like the apprehension and the worry, the 10 of Swords. And then lastly, we have Judgment. And Judgment is an interesting card. This is a weird picture, to be honest with you. I appreciate art, but I'm not understanding this art because it just looks weird. But usually it's depicted with an angel, and there are naked people under there, but these naked people are like souls trying to seek forgiveness. So it's about coming to an agreement and apologizing and looking to see if there can be a new start, or looking to see if there is forgiveness left in this situation. So I feel like your person feels guilty. They have feelings for you, right? Because we have the Sun, Judgment. They've got feelings for you. They feel confused and surprised about the situation with the 5 of Swords. And they do have passion for you. But I think that they're caught off guard because they don't have any cups here. Like cups are about emotion. So I really feel like this is a brand new situation. Like you guys just got connected. And you probably have known each other for a long time, but maybe don't know a lot about, the things that each one of you has gone through, as far as love is concerned, which is causing this kind of runner-chaser situation. So I didn't mention this in the beginning, but let's get some advice cards about this situationship from universe, okay? This deck that I'm using is what is this called? Oh, Wisdom Oracle by Colette Baron Reed? Colette Baron? Yeah. By Colette Baron Reed. I love this deck, and I have a few of her decks, actually. So she has a good selection of oracle cards. So let's see. Let's get some wisdom from the universe. What advice do you have for pile 1 about this situation? What advice do you have for pile 1, please, Spirit? What advice do you have for pile 1, please, Spirit? What advice do you have for pile 1? Let's do another shuffle here. So one of the reasons why just came to me that maybe they're not coming out because maybe it's obvious to you what you might need to do in this situation. And it's so clear, cut and dry, but we need some deep information here, universe. So what advice do you have for pile 1 in this situationship, please? And any other cards, please, card. Okay, so this has a guidebook to read from, so let me get that out. Okay, so you got number 20, imagine. Buy the book. And that is number 11, an observer. Actually, observer came out first, so it actually came out this way. All right, so I'm going to read these little sections, and we'll see what advice is coming here. Let's see. This observer already makes me feel like, wait, hang on for a minute, give things some time. Imagine, I really identify that with the Magician card, and buy the book. I think that your person is wanting to do things in a more traditional way. But let's see what it says, because that's just my intuition. So 49. I'll try to maybe do, if I remember, I'll try to do timestamps for these. All right, 49, observer. So the essential meaning is perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that this is the only reality. There are times where you need a distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is the perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to do to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and the environment that you're engaged with now. You will be so happy that you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. So I think in your situation, yes, doing exactly what this says, and then also I find focusing on yourself, your own self-care, turn this energy, this strong energy, back to yourself. So, pick up a hobby, start working out, start, reading a book series or something like that, so that you can turn yourself inward and really illuminate love, because your person will pick up on that. Your person will, instead of this being one direction, instead of you looking like a beam of light that's hurting their eyes, you're going to look like a glowing lamp. And that's really the most gentle way to show love to people, especially in this runner-chaser situation. Okay, so let's go to 20. Okay, so 20 says the essential meaning for this one is turning imagination into manifestation. See, I told you guys, the magician. Creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imaginary and feelings, creativity, and illusions. So, who do you want to be? Who do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You are gifted with the power to imagine. If you can dream it, you can create it. And this is the time when your imagination is key in manifesting the life that you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. And allow the power of your creativity to deliver images of what feeds your soul. And then allow your feelings to mingle with those inspirations and imagine these things to be real right now. And then repeat. What you imagine will become your belief, and soon you will see these things will come to pass in the outer world as if it was magic. Ties right into what I was saying about self-care, doing the imagine board, focusing on what your life what you're going to be and what you want, instead of just focusing on the one person. And let's see, the last one is 11. So the meaning for this one is abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural and family customs, universal laws. The universe works within the structure of divine laws and principles that provide a framework for the human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, and law of karma, law of attraction, and the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate in a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting the instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is the time to learn those laws and conform to them, rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules, even if when they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony, and open your eyes to these universal laws so that it will be easier to go by the book this time. So I think that, that is a strong direction for you, pile one, to yield back a little bit with your person and respect their boundaries, respect that they need some time, and look into yourself and look into your life and see how you can intertwine the laws in your life, right? Whatever of those laws that, really you resonate with. And I think taking time and giving your person time to digest this, it kind of feels like an explosion of a confession of feelings or something. Give them time to digest, because we still have the Ace of Wands there. We still have the Sun there. I think it's hard for your person to believe that could be possible in this life. To find someone like you, to find someone that they can trust, to find someone that's not going to hurt them, to find someone that's their safe place. That seems like something in Disney fantasies. And, when it's encountered in this 3D life, it can be like a tower moment. It could be like a life-changing situation. So give your person grace and time, and take care of yourself, love yourself, which is the most healthiest thing for you to do. And I know that a lot of times what you want to hear is, oh my God, they're in love with you too. Oh my God, go for it. But a lot of times these connections are complicated, because connections like this are not, like The Bachelorette, right? I mean, they're not like where you just meet someone, you instantly connect, you get to have all the romance, without any hindrance, without any, all the communication you want, and it's perfect. Like, when we're talking about these kind of connections, they're meant to provoke change in your character. And some people dive into change. Some people are like, get the fuck away from me with that change business, because I have structure, right? I follow the customs in my family, and there is no opportunity for change. Now, granted, going back to how the imagination card, like having to imagine that, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can just decide that that's not something you want in your life. And some people don't even realize that that's an option in their reality, to decide, I don't want that kind of love. I want this kind of love. But it does take time. The Four of Swords, the introspection that needs to happen, and then the getting the courage to take that first step in that direction. Understand that if you get communication from your person, be gentle and kind. And even if it's small, just understand that what's happening in their heart and in their mind is much bigger than maybe what they know how to even communicate. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much, Pile One, for stopping by. I hope that this helped you. I have a bunch of other readings on my channel. So please feel free to flip through those. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. All right. Thank you. See you until next time. Bye. All right, pile 2. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Pile 1 was a deep reading, I have to say. It was went a bit longer than I expected it to, but here we are. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's just a lot to say, and sometimes things are very straightforward. So, let's see. You've got a situationship, and that's why you're here. So let's see what is going on. It seemed like with pile 1, it naturally divided on who was who in the reading. So I'm just going to let Spirit do that here too. Okay. So pile 2. What is going on with piles 2? Pile 2's person, situationship, Spirit. Okay. First card off the bat is the 8 of Roses. Wow. Goodness, y'all. Okay, so we have the 8 of Roses. So this would be the 8 of Cups. I think roses are cups. Bears are pentacles, and you have the 10 of Pentacles here. Cute card, right? And then you have the Wheel of Fortune. And you have the Lovers, which is a very romantic card to get. So I think that this, okay, so pile 1 was definitely a situation where, it was a new situation. So this situation does not feel new. This situation feels like it's taken some time. The 8 of Cups is kind of like a card of walking away from things that no longer serve you, right? So walking away from, old beliefs, old ideas about love, old ideas about what makes you happy in love. Usually it's depicted with somebody, literally cups kind of like sitting up on a ridge of some sand and the person walking away. And you see how like one side of the skull is kind of looks like the moon, a little cold, and this one's fiery. So it's making a decision to go where your heart follows, like where to follow your heart is what I'm trying to say. And then with the 10 of Cups, this card is 10 of Cups. Why did I say 10 of Cups? 10 of Pentacles. Maybe 10 of Cups will show up here. We'll see. But the 10 of Pentacles is about, definitely one. I'm going to say one of, because there are a lot of good cards about romance in tarot. But definitely this is a card about stability, about your wish fulfillment, about this person. If this is directed from you, pile 2, to your person, this person floats your boat. This person is who you want to build a future with. It's somebody that you feel that not only fulfills you emotionally, but somebody that you could actually really work with, like really walk hand in hand in the journey of life and go through things that, can be difficult, or things that are amazing and not difficult, but that no matter what comes at you, you both can face it together. Kids and pets might be something that is also involved in this connection, but regardless, the 10 of Pentacles is definitely about just having a completely positive outlook on the future of this connection. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's called the Cosmic Wheel here, is the great card, because usually it's a card that talks about the turning of the tide, right? Going in from one stage of your life to the other. And I usually will read this card, its meaning based on the card before it and the card after it. And the card before it is the 10 of Pentacles, and the card after it is the Lovers. So it almost can't get better than that, as far as a connection is concerned, because it feels like and especially this rose, we're talking about like emotion, and then this pyramid, right? There could be some past lives shared here, going into the pentacles. So that kind of stands out to me, like going from an emotional love roller coaster into something that's more grounded and more secure in maybe the 3D plane. So let's say in this situationship, maybe communication, because we don't see swords yet. So thought and communication maybe hasn't been something that's happened too much. Like maybe there's these internal feelings of your person maybe realizing for themselves that they're going to walk away from the things that don't serve them anymore, and they've realized that you're stable. You're not what they thought was maybe not stable before, and what they thought was quite probably unbelievable before is actually they've realized that it's a true thing and a realistic thing. Going into now the Lovers. Now the Lovers is an interesting card because it is the opposite. For me, it's the opposite of the Devil card. And the Devil card, there's this like devil there, and there's two people that are chained to the devil. These people, like she's dancing, he's playing guitar. The snake is here. Snakes for me represent transformation. You've got trees and flowers and a little town, and and then the sun in the background. So it to me, it speaks about freely deciding to fall in love and be bound to a person. That no matter what happens, good or bad, storms, like it's kind of, stormy in the background. It doesn't matter, that you guys have made a decision, or there has been a decision made that this person is going to be a theme or a entity in my life, a soul that is going to stay with me on this journey in life. If that makes sense. So kind of like excluding the technical law of what marriage is. This is saying we're gonna do life together. I love you, you love me, let's do this. It doesn't have to be what people expect. We're both making, or I've made a decision that is what I want with you. So let's see if we get more energy. So if we get more energy that's more along this line, I think, it would point towards your person internally kind of deciding this, because situationships always kind of tell me that there has been things that has not been communicated, or feelings that have not been said, but maybe an intuition or an internal, like knowing that things are going in that direction, but nobody's kind of said what they're feeling. So let's just see, okay? So let's clarify the 8 of Cups. Pile 2. All right, we got the Devil, which I mentioned. Okay. 10 of Cups, please. Clarify pile 2. Wow, okay. Pile 2, please. Aye. Okay. You got the Hangman. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. Okay. Tell me more about the Cosmic Wheel. Fortune, please. There. More about the Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Lovers, please. Clarify the Lovers for pile 2. Okay. The Emperor. Okay, so this is interesting. So I think what I'm getting here is background on your person. We're getting the deets. We're getting the details about why this beautiful decision has been made about you, and the background about what they're walking away from with the 8 of Cups. So we have the Wolf. I mentioned it, and I thought it was funny, but I don't know which one, and now I don't remember what card I mentioned it to. But I know I mentioned it with the Lovers, and I was thinking, I think it was the 10 of Cups. But anyway, I mentioned the devil, and here we are. This is the devil. Okay. Like I said, usually it's two people chained, and it's usually a demon or something like that. And, this card speaks to obsession. It speaks to feeling tied into your circumstances, like you have no choice in the matter. It can mean anything from jealousy to addiction. It could mean giving into the worst parts of your character, holding onto your ego, not wanting to give in a situation, not wanting to be graceful or empathetic or any of those things, and not having a choice in the matter. With this, it's like you're being, because of either circumstances that took place in your person's life or hurt feelings, or what comes really kind of obvious to me is that this was either maybe an old connection that your person is walking away from. A connection that brought a lot of this out in them, a lot of the things that didn't make them feel great. Like, if this is supposed to be love, how come I feel like shit? Why do I feel like I'm not loved? Or why do I feel like I'm obligated to be here? Love is supposed to be, the whole romance that society put in, or how they romanticized marriage, was to say that this is someone I'm choosing to spend the rest of my life with. So to be chosen, right, is a decision that you make for that one person. And we get tricked into thinking that that decision should be for life, and that we've made all the right choices leading up to that point, and we automatically are born with knowing how to be in a connection for the rest of your life. And that is a fucking lie, right? We all know the divorce rate, I think, alone explains that definitely is not the truth. So a lot of times we get in connections based on maybe what we think is right traditionally, what we think we're supposed to do with what our family thinks is good for us. We assume that we don't know ourselves better than our family knows us. So a lot of times people do trust what their family thinks about the person they're with, or the person they're thinking of being with. So coming to the conclusion of walking away from something like that is not an easy feat. It is definitely something that takes time. I've been through it, and I know for myself, it has taken many tears, lots of crying, lots of asking a lot of whys, a lot of questions that hard questions that I had to ask myself, questions that I didn't want to answer, but I couldn't run away from. You can't really run away. We all kind of know we can't run away from ourselves. You can pretend, you can do actions that say that you're rejecting something, for example, or that you're not interested in something, but your soul knows, your mind knows. Once you're aware, you can't act like you're not aware. And I think that kind of played into how when you came into your person's life. I think initially they were very standoffish, because this is heavy energy. The devil is heavy energy, and they could have, breadcrumbed you, or it was a false start where you guys started, originally came together and was like really, really into each other, and then suddenly you got ghosted. And that's a possibility. With the Ten of Cups, what kind of confirms that for me is the Hangman. Now, this is the Hangman. I think in the Grateful Dead tarot deck, they call it the blues. But, it is a card that speaks about, some people call it stalemate, things not moving forward in a relationship, things not moving forward in general, whatever the subject is. But what it is someone who hangs themselves upside down by their foot. So they willingly hung themselves up to take time and to think. And it's different than the Four of Swords, because the Four of Swords is similar, except that is kind of having communion with yourself, kind of looking at yourself, introspective thinking, where I think that for me, the Hangman speaks to seeking advice from the universe. Like, I give up. Like, universe, I give up. I don't like waving your white flag in the air. I don't know what to do anymore. But I know that this isn't resolved, and I know an action needs to be taken, but I'm just like, I just don't know. Like with the moon in the background, maybe there's along with the moon and the roses, that there's this illusion of emotion that needs to be kind of teased out. And I love how these trees here look like people, kind of like reminds me of how the universe how they say that, we are a part of the universe is a part of us, like seeking that advice. Like, it reminds me of times where I've gone outside and sat down just to look at the stars, just to talk to myself and to the universe about what I think, what's worrying me, how I'm feeling. And it never fails that I feel better after that. It never fails that I come back from that and I feel like I've gotten some sort of resolve or answer in whatever the situation was. And I feel like that card is kind of that kind of same energy. And so getting to the point where your person feels like you are the Ten of Cups took a long time. But they've decided, that that's the conclusion that they've come to, is that you are the Ten of Cups. You're not like, if it was something, let's say, the wands are a good example. If it was like the King of Wands, or, the Six of Wands, or something that was just solely based on passion, it's not based on it's less about it being for sure and something they can trust. It's more about the presence of passion, right? The presence of passion in the connection, versus this is a more 100% like decision, right? That your person can trust in you and trust in whatever happens, right? Whatever the outcome of the type of relationship it is, because, us humans love to put, titles and things, right? And label things. So, okay, so let me move on here. So to clarify the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Ten of Bolts, and the Ten of Bolts is the Ten of Wands. So, so in this deck, it's lightning bolts. And so it's about tens in general, tens represent endings. So they represent the ending of something to be transformed into another thing. So it makes me feel, so a good analogy is like a butterfly, right? Like the insect, the caterpillar eats and eats and eats and eats all the way up until it's just automatically triggered to then make his little cocoon. This is him making the cocoon, right? It is the last stretch of what needs to be done before the burden is let down and the insect transforms into the butterfly, right? So it's fitting that it's falling underneath the Wheel of Fortune, because that is about transition. It's about moving from one section of life into another chapter of life. And it also it reminds me and kind of confirms the period of time that it's taken for this to happen, to come to these conclusions. Has been hard and a long journey for your person. And lastly, the last card that you got is the Emperor. And the Emperor is a major arcana card. And the Emperor is a very interesting fellow because he is stoic. He has been through a lot. It's funny, they have like a bottle of liquor there. He's got a pyramid there, which to me speaks to the duality of us humans, right? Like, we want to pacify our pain, but sometimes, if we're lucky, and have grow enough psychologically and emotionally, we can be open to things that are wondrous, that are mysterious to us, and we discover new things, like the whole discovery of even something as simple as realizing you don't have to follow the tradition that you were raised. You can decide, for example, this religion that I was raised with, I never really went to that house, whatever. It could be, a mosque, it could be a temple, it could be whatever, church. I don't resonate with that, now that I'm older, now that I'm more mature, I just don't resonate with that anymore. And the Emperor is the person that walks away and says, I don't need that anymore. I think I've discovered my own way. I've discovered my own path, and I'm actually even willing to lead other people there. And he does have a counterpart in the major arcana. He has the she's probably called the Mother, but the Empress. She embodies all four queens. So he embodies all four kings. So he's been through so much in his life that he's matured enough to say, yeah, I'll make my own decisions and I will take the path that I want to take. And I feel confident in that, like the whole psychological and emotional development to that. Like if you don't consider and count the cost to things, I mean, we don't want to get wrapped up in anxiety and overthinking. But if you don't count the cost and really check in with yourself, it can lead to impulsive decisions that might not be good for you, or lessons that you maybe could have avoided. The Emperor comes from a place of already making those mistakes and feeling confident in the steps that are being taken from here on out. And that falling under the Lovers tells me that your person is 100% like in love with you. Not only just in love with you because of who you are as a person, but in love with what possibilities are there for you guys in this connection. And I do feel like let's get a couple more cards, because I want to get what I want, because now we know like the background story, right? But what's coming next? Because this is all kind of happening in your person's head. I don't know if you've had communication. I don't know if they've told you anything about this. You might be completely unaware that your person is feeling this way. So let's see. If that's the case, let's see what's going to be the next action for pile two's person. From pile two's person. Next action from pile two's person, please. Okay, we got 2 there. Eight of Pentacles. That's a good one. Oh, that's nice too. Okay. Let's just get 2 more cards. 2 more cards, please, Fred. Next actions for pile two's person. Oh, that's good too. Next action for pile two's person, please. Next action for pile two's person. Sorry it's so loud. I'm going to have to look this one up. I want to say this is the World. I want to say that's the World. But see, this deck, it has different names for everything. So give me just 1 second. I just don't want to... I don't want to lead you astray there. So hold on. Oh, no, that's the... Oh, see? I was wrong. It's not the World. Hold on. Okay, Temperance. That's what it is. Interesting. I would have never thought that's Temperance, but I'll show you that card in a minute. So for next actions, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles is pretty cool, because the 8 of Pentacles isn't that cute little bear? Anyway, the 8 of Pentacles is the idea. Oh, look at that. There's a little shoe and little bears up there. Oh my God, that's so cute. So, it's about, being done with the work. It's the baker that has put the last bit of icing on the wedding cake. It's working really, really hard towards something and feeling like you've accomplished everything that you've accomplished. So it's moving forward in a very grounded way after doing a lot of work, a lot of toiling in the field. Those analogies come to mind. Collecting the harvest after a long season. So going back to the 10 of Wands and the Hangman, that this has been a work in progress for your person. There might be some work left that they're finishing up before they come forward. And then you have the Queen of Roses, and that is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is a beautiful queen. She's a queen who has seen her share of emotional turmoil, and she has survived it all and has come out victorious. She is wise, she is smart, she is empathetic, kind. She is able to rule in a way that is fair for people. So she's very emotionally intelligent. I think that your person has grown a lot since the beginning of this. It could be that this connection has taken years to happen. So your person has definitely done the work, the emotional work, or they're almost done with that work in order to come forward and offer their love. They have a lot of love and compassion for you. And then this is the Terrapin, which I don't know if I'm saying that right, but a lot of the ace cards that are in this deck are represented with a little turtle. And so this is the Ace of Wands. So wait, Ace of Wands. And so lots of passion. So your person's going to come forward with a confession of the passion, with, okay, let me come clean. This is what's been going on. This is how I'm feeling. All of this positive energy is going to come forward. Now, it might come forward in an uneloquent way. It might come forward very rambunctious and just like, blah, this is how I'm feeling. Like you don't hear from this person in a long time and suddenly you get a call or a message and it's like, blah, all my feelings. Which I think is adorable. So just take it with the grace and kindness and empathy, because your person has been doing a lot of work. So be kind. Don't be critical. In these kind of connections, I think being critical is not helpful. Let's just put it that way. So they're going to come forward. They're going to come forward really, really just expressing their passion for you. And then the last one we have is Temperance. So Temperance is an interesting card because a lot of readers I've noticed talk about patience with Temperance. And it is true that it does speak to it speaks to patience. It speaks to, because if you can see here, there's 1 foot on the dirt, 1 foot in the water. A lot of water here. This is like a thunderstorm. This is like sunshine coming through, a little sprinkle of rain. And so it talks about a duality of learning how to walk in not walk two different paths, but to be resilient enough to manage any terrain, if that makes sense. So to be resilient enough and have the emotional insight, the spiritual insight, and the grounded, physical and intellectual understanding of how to navigate challenges that might come ahead. It also can say that they want to take a careful way towards, like after this big confession of feelings, they might be like, okay, all right, now that's out of the way. Now let's see how we want to proceed forward. Let's be careful about, let's be purposeful about where we're going to step and what direction we're going to take this connection, because clearly this connection means a lot to your person. It has been a life-changing connection already. So even if nothing comes out of this connection here, just know, Pile 2, that you are an incredible soul that impacted this person in a profound way that will change, that actually changed the trajectory of their lives. So take that to heart and know that no time is ever wasted. And I'm sure if this did take a lot of time, that you had to do a lot of learning on your own as well. I'm sure it provoked a lot of abandonment issues and a lot of turmoil and a lot of questions that just weren't answered. And that has been difficult for you. So I want to just put that out there, that I respect that a lot. That is not for the faint of heart at all. But this seems like something that is very, very grounded and deep. So be gracious when your person wants to be more careful about how, or take a different, go about it in a different manner than before. Especially if there was a false start and you guys were just immediately texting a lot, let's say, and then you got ghosted and then it's crickets after that or whatever. They don't want to repeat that, They want to make sure that this is going to be a solid connection that is equal, that is reciprocal, that is empathetic and kind to both of you. Okay? I'm going to do one more I don't know if there's any wisdom that the universe wants to give you about this situation, but I do have an oracle card. It's called the Wisdom Oracle, and it's from Colette Baron Reed, and it has some real jewels of wisdom when it comes to difficult situations. So let's see. What advice does the universe have for pile 2 on this situation? That's a cool card. Okay. Anything else? Anything else for pile 2, please, Spirit? Wow. Okay, so for perspective, pile 1 got 4 of these cards. So you get 1. All right, so let's read it. It is 43. Whoa. It's 43, and it is called Deep Knowing. All right. One second. Okay, so deep knowing. Essential meaning is intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. Interesting. Okay. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are not taught to ignore this. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have the ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. The deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of the human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind, or 5 senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and to trust your vibes, and they will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. Wow, that is great advice, pile 2. So if you continue to have communication or send messages to this person or see them and be kind, even though you have this background, you're following your intuition and you're doing what's right in this situation. And probably because you did that and followed that intuition, the universe is saying continue to follow it, because it's creating this environment of growth, fertile soil for your person to continue to move forward in this new journey in their life. It is a fantastical thing to be able to be a part of that in this planet and in this journey that we have here as humans. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to leave it right there. I think it can't get better than that. Pile 2. This has been a beautiful reading, and I wish you the best. If this resonated with you, put a little heart in the comments, and like and subscribe to my channel, please. I would like it and appreciate it very much. Okay, until next time. Okay, pile 3. Here we go. This has been an interesting, all the decks, all the piles have been different, I have to say. So I'm excited to see what is going to come out for you in your situationship. This is a beautiful deck, by the way. Modern Love Tarot. All right, let's see. Spirit, pile 3's situations. Oh, that's already 4. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. Oh, we got a lot of cards. Okay, we'll start here first. Let's do one more. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So I feel like pile 3. You might be a Scorpio. You might be a Capricorn, or the person you're talking about is a Capricorn. That's coming to me. The first card that we got is the Death card. Okay, so the Death card talks about, it's a major arcana card, and it is about, the reason why it's the Scorpio card is because it's about transformation. Scorpions, I'm a Scorpio, and sometimes we're magnets for drama or we're put in situations that force us to make tough decisions about relationships, about family members, about directions that we want to go in life, and how we handle hurt and pain. We choose to transform. Like, we make the decision to either cut toxic people out of our lives, or we decide that we're going to go in a completely different direction. So I think that you've done a lot of growing, you've done a lot of maturing in your life, and you have confidence in yourself. You're happy with who you are. But I think that this connection, your situationship, might have put a crack in that, because we have the Death card, and then we have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is about being like, look at this lady. She's just like living her life. She's like happier than a clam in the ocean. Having her little bubble bath there with her wine and satisfied. Maybe before this connection, that's exactly how you felt. And I think that perhaps, I don't know if this person ended up being a temptation for you. Like maybe you were in another connection and this person came out of the blue to kind of like, and shook your world up. Because then we have the Devil. And the Devil card is about kind of the things that are taboo, addiction, obsession, being chained to obligation, feeling like there's no choice but to submit to the situation. So maybe having a victim mentality, or if in the case of a situationship, if this is a romantic one, someone that completely blows you away. Like, the passion is there, the sexual chemistry is there, they're absolutely gorgeous. On the outside, they appear like everything that you've ever wanted, but they have probably ghosted you. We have the Five of Pentacles, and interestingly, there's a bride out there, out of the window, wishing that she could get inside the chapel, and being left behind. It's about being left behind, feeling that you were left out in the cold. So they could have probably ghosted you, maybe, perhaps, and that's why you're here, to get like some insight. Okay, now you got more than 4 cards. Then you got the Five of Cups, which I'm going to put right here because that's the Five of Pentacles. So you've been in a lot of pain. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to put this here, Five of Cups, under the Devil, because, I'm sorry, Death. The Five of Cups is similar in the Five of Pentacles, except that the Five of Pentacles is like getting, not just being cut out of communication, but being cut out of the connection completely. Like, they don't want anything grounded with you at all. Where the Five of Cups is about mourning. Like, this is a casket. It's about just feeling so sad. Just sad. Being almost like unexpected, taken by surprise that you had these strong feelings about that. Like that this strong energy and confidence that you usually would have is not something that you're having in this connection, which it is common that happens with situationships, But then under the Nine of Cups, we have the Empress. And the Empress embodies all 4 queens in tarot. So the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands. And she's typically depicted pregnant. But nothing phases her. So she's gone through all of the things that all the queens have gone through. She is confident in her powers of being fruitful, being completely secure in herself, able to create, able to move on, able to, be resilient, not let external forces really hurt her, or be at risk, and the vulnerability there is shown to me by her belly being exposed. Just feeling confident. So tell me more, Spirit. What's going on here? Clarify the devil. The Chariot. There you go. Interesting. So maybe you're here because you need to know if you're supposed to move on. Like, should I move on from this connection or not? Because the Chariot is all about being brave. It's about being brave, about not being fearful. And I like how they have a little handicapped dog there, because it shows that the resilience of, even if I did get hurt, even if things didn't turn out right, I'm okay. And not in a toxic way, in a way that is like, I'll heal, I'll move on, because I'm confident and aware of my ability, because I am not going to be a failure because of something someone else did to me, like a decision that somebody else made. If the person made a decision to walk away, and me just seeing the Empress, the Chariot, and Death card here, this is a lesson. I learned a long time ago that sometimes people that are put into your life are meant to be stepping stones. They're not meant for you to stay there forever. This person might have knocked your socks off, but they were representing something, a part of your ego that you needed to look at. And then it got pulled away from you. The person decided to walk away. But the decision that you're making here after you've done the mourning is a decision. What's coming is the healing, the growth, being grounded in and fertile, right? The difference between putting your hands in that fertile, wet soil and smelling that dirt, knowing that, man, I could grow some great vegetables here, I could grow whatever I want here, or sticking your hands in dirt that's been dry and cracked and there's no nutrient in there anymore. You're choosing the right direction to go, clearly. All right, so let's see here. It's awesome, pile 3. Goodness, that's hard to do. You must be a strong person, a really strong person, or you've been through a lot. Look at this. I feel like saying, girl, you might be a boy, or you might be non-binary or whatever. But something is going to happen. So this isn't the end of the story. This being left out in the cold is not the end of the story. You might need to look in to see, like, if I have, I'm not sure if I have a reading like that, but if I don't, I'll try to do a reading of like what's coming next in love for you, because this feels like what's coming next in love for you, because you have the Chariot, right? And then you have the Knight of Cups. So someone is coming into your life here. And the Knight of Cups, just like this looks like, to me, it looks like a polyamorous relationship. But it doesn't need to be. It could be a casual relationship of, like, you're going to encounter a really good person, like a genuine good person that you're going to get along with so well. You're going to want to spend time with them. You're going to want to, go to the pubs with them, go to sport games with them, go get pedicures together. I mean, like that kind of mutual, reciprocal, trustworthy kind of connection. To me, and also that it's a new connection. When we think about the Knight is not a king, so it's a new connection. It's maybe even a younger person. And then we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords might be somebody that is coming after this, or that the energy that you have towards love has changed into something that is more grounded, more, not grounded, more focused on the inside, about emotional intelligence, and not focused on, external looks, right? Whether there's sexual chemistry. It's going to be based on more emotional intelligence. You're going to maybe even find a different tribe, a different group of people that you're going to hang out with, where you'll encounter this King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is a person who is, like here, it's clear he's a business owner. He is able to manage a lot. Type A personality, somebody who's able to make decisions easily, see the big picture, but a kind guy or woman, a kind person. He has a good, nice smile on his face. He is easy to talk to, easy to and you might be actually somebody. You might be thinking that you're a person where looks are very important, but you might be somebody that is just more attracted to someone's mind, right? More attracted to someone's brain. Like you meet someone and you're like, I think that your brain is amazing. I want to talk to you all the time now. Like I think that your intelligence is really hot and I like it. And that might be something that might be coming along for you. Let me see if there's something else to be said about this. Here we go. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so maybe you're going to meet somebody at work. Oh, and also, when you do meet this person and you're going to come around and show them off to your friends, I have a feeling that this person that did you wrong here they're going to meet this person, and they're going to feel like they let the good one go, like they let the catch go. They're going to regret letting you go for sure. Because the 3 of Pentacles is about, it does represent work, but it represents like, usually there's somebody painting stone or doing something on a cathedral, and there's some people that come by and he's showing them what he's done. So it's kind of like you're showing the progress that you've made. It's going to be clear the progress that you've made, the hard work that you've done on yourself. It's all going to be clear. And this person is going to be like the byproduct of that. Like you're going to elevate your vibration enough so that you can connect with people like this person who's more like-minded. You might have Pentacle energy. I mentioned Capricorn. I am not good at horoscopes though. So I all of the Earth energy horoscopes, if that makes sense, where this is air. Which I think, I don't know if I'm right, but I want to say Aries and Aquarius and Virgo, but I might be wrong about that. But anyway, like I said, you've done a lot of healing. You've done a lot of growth. You've worked very, very, very hard on yourself. And you need to feel very good about that. And the universe has seen it. The universe was there. Your angels and your spirit guides were there when you were crying by yourself. They know all the pain that this person caused you. But like I was saying earlier, I think, or in someone else's reading, I was saying that, sometimes these lessons are there to provoke change in us, to show us something about our ego or about our connection to ourselves, a connection to spirituality or to the universe, about what direction we need to take in our purpose. And sometimes you need to have redirection. And sometimes these connections are redirections. They are not there to make you cry and say that you're not worthy of great connections. Sometimes it's this person isn't worthy of you. That's why the universe is saving you from that. This person is nowhere near. Like if they're still in this devil energy, they are not good enough for you. Like they're not good enough for you. They might be a good person for other people, but as far as a partner in this life, that is not your partner. This is your partner, or these people, your new tribe. Okay? Because you're coming through like a winner, right? You're coming through. Nothing can scathe you, I had this epiphany kind of a couple weeks ago, where I was thinking about a situation that was causing some anxiety Just a little quick share here, causing some anxiety, you know, and I was just like, God, I wish I could just stop worrying about this. So I thought, well, how can I, a lot of times I do some self-talk to myself and I say, well, Salima, you know, like, think about this. Like, so what is the worst that's going to happen if this happens? Well, the worst that can happen is that I'm alone or I get abandoned. Okay. All right. I already know that that is something part of my character. So the times that I've gotten abandoned and felt alone, what did I do with that? Well, I mourned, right? I mourned. What, 5 of Cups? Okay, I did that. But ultimately, you still have to live this life, right? Am I going to be despondent and not participate in life anymore because someone walked away? No. Almost every single time I've been abandoned or someone walked away from a connection with me, I have found a way to heal and transform and move forward. And sometimes it was by ego, right? Sometimes it was like the whole, well, fuck that shit. I don't need a man like that, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe I was a little like emotionally immature on some of those occasions because my ego was protecting myself. That's what the ego's for, is to protect you, to get you out of this sorrowful, woe is me energy. And I was able to, so every time something like that happens, I just want to encourage you, pile 3, that do not think that don't get hung up on that. Okay? Like sometimes, just like when you think of bumper cars or you think about bowling and they have the guardrails there or the little gutter there on the side and your ball goes in there, it's not the end of the world, right? You get another opportunity to learn, to change your strategy, to learn about who you are, look at who you are in order to then come out successful, right? So I'm going to leave you with that. And then I have a deck that each pile has been getting a card of advice from the universe. I'm going to give you some advice here. All right, let's see. What advice do you have for pile 3, Spirit, in their situation? What advice do you have for pile 3? All right. Oh, you got 2. Oh, how cool is that? Yee. All right, you got Unfinished Symphony. Can you see that? Unfinished Symphony. And Happy Happy. That is so cool. Okay, so let's read these. There's a little, let's see if these stay up that way. Okay, let me get the guidebook here real quick. Oh my gosh. That is so, I love when things are synchronistic like that. Like, you know, I'm trying to encourage you and tell you about, like, you know, don't let this shit bother you, you know? And then these cards are completely encouraging. Unfinished Symphony and Happy Happy. Incredible. All right, so let's see here. All right. Unfinished Symphony. This is the time to tie up loose ends as you near completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Oh, I love that. Oh, that resonates so much. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so then the next one is number 26. All right. Okay, so the message is, your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy, moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now it is the time for your feeling of joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now, and enjoy playfully splashing in it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. You know, that's all that needs to be said. Pile 3, thank you so much. If this resonated with you, put a little rainbow in the comments, because I want to know if it resonated with you. But yeah, pile 3, there are good things coming ahead for you, and I am so proud of you for the growth that you've done. And keep looking at the future. Keep remembering that you can make a choice at every moment in your life to choose to grow or not. And clearly growing is your forte. All right. So like, subscribe, and comment if you want. Hit the notification bell too if you want. But yeah, thank you for coming by. Bye, Pile 3.